Hi guys, in this video, I will be explaining the whole project management professional application process. But before getting into the application process, let me introduce myself. I'm Vishak. I'm an authorized training partner with PMI and I do deliver project management, risk management professional trainings. And about my background, I was working with EY, Ernst & Young, one of the big four consulting firms in the world as a senior project consultant. And before that, I was working with the e-commerce companies like Ola Cabs and Taxi for Sure. And I started my career in the manufacturing company called as Ingersoll Rand. Throughout my career, I was into project management. Now, I'm sure that many of you guys are curious to know about the how to apply for the PMP application process because I have been getting a lot of phone calls, LinkedIn messages from many participants requesting me, can you please elaborate on the application process? But without taking much time, let me also clarify the why part. Why you guys should clear the PMP. I know some of you guys may be curious about that as well. So the first point which comes to my mind is, it is a proven fact that PMP tagline, the project managers who are having the PMP tagline, they are earning definitely a higher salary than the non-certified peers. I can pull up the data, guys. It's a proven data from PMI, which says that there is a 16% average higher salary earned by the project management professional credential holders. That's the point number one. Regarding the point number two, maybe some of you guys are not in your project management career. Maybe you are sort of a manager leading a team of 2-3 people. Maybe you are more into a team lead designations. But if you guys are interested, like if you guys are fascinated with the designation of project management, program management, project director, then let me tell you, there are many companies in the world who are considering PMP tagline as mandatory whenever you guys apply. And the fact is that by 2030, the whole world needs 25 million new project management professionals. So there's a good news. If you guys found this domain interesting, get this tagline, and then you guys can confidently apply for these job roles. Point number two. Point number three, once you guys become a member of PMI by clearing PMP, you can be part of the growing community of more than 1.4 million project management professional holders across the world. So the benefit is when you become a member, you guys will be updated regarding some latest trends happening in the field of project management, like the introduction of artificial intelligence, something like that, so that you can attend those webinars, or maybe the local chapters of PMI, they will be hosting some seminars or conferences. So it's good that you can be a part of all those. Maybe if you're so expert in that field, in fact, you can contribute back to the community. These are the benefits, quickly summarizing the why part. Now, moving to the how part of PMP, how you should apply for the PMP. First thing, let us check the eligibility criteria. So imagine if you guys are a graduate with a 4-year degree, like engineering. In that case, you people need 36 months of project management experience or 3 years of project management experience. And that too, it should be relevant. When I say relevant, in the last 8 years. You cannot tell that I was a project manager 15 years back. It should be relevant in the last 8 years. Just imagine if you are a diploma holder, like your degree is 3 years, then PMI expects that you should have 5 years of project management experience or 60 months of project management experience. This is the eligibility criteria to apply for PMP. That's not the only thing, guys. You should attend some training with an authorized training partner. So there are a lot of training companies around the world. Either you can choose an on-demand course, or you can attend a live session or a classroom training or a virtual session, whatever it is. You should have a certificate justifying that you have completed 35 hours of project management training. And there is another opportunity as well. In case you have not taken up the 35 hours of project management training, but instead, if you are a CAPM holder, that is a different certification which is offered by PMI. In that case, you don't need to have this. You don't need to attend this 35 contact hours of project management training. That's the eligibility criteria. So moving on to the next step, imagine you guys have met that criteria of, let's say if I pick up that you are a graduate with 4-year course. In that case, you should have 36 months of project management experience. So next step, I would say, guys, open a notepad or a Word document and gather all those info. Oh, what all projects I have worked in the past, and how did I do all those? Like that, you note down in your own language. I call like gathering all, consolidating the rough data. And then I will explain the application process. Imagine you guys have applied as per those guidelines, what I've told. And then the next step in that flow chart is you have to submit the application. Once the application is submitted, there are two possibilities, guys. One possibility is your application will not be selected for an audit process. The lucky guys. In that case, straight away, you will get a notification telling that you're eligible. Go ahead and schedule the exam. So only at that moment, you have to pay the fees. Okay, there is no fee payment anywhere before this. For submitting the application, you don't have to make any payment. So in case your application is selected for audit, the next possibility I told, right? First of all, let me tell you, the audit is a totally random process. It got nothing to do with what you have submitted, the number of years of experience, everything. It's a random procedure. So what do you mean by this audit, guys? That's what I'm going to tell. So it's just that the PMI, they ask additional data from you. Anyway, you are candid and truthful, right? So definitely whatever you have jotted down in the application, you will have the substantiating documents. That's all they are asking. Either it can be a copy of your degree. You claimed that you have passed out from this university, so they may be asking you for the copy of the degree. Or they may ask you, can we reach out to your supervisor? Can you give the email ID so that we can send a reference note to that person so that he can validate that you have done this projects as mentioned in the application. That's the second thing. Third thing, they may ask you to upload the certificate of training completion. Whichever institute you guys have enrolled for the PMP training, right? They will give you a certificate of completion. That certificate, PMI will ask you to upload. That's it about the audit process. So my message is don't panic, guys, in case your application is selected for audit. Please follow those procedures and get out of the audit formalities. So once your audit is accepted, again, you will get the same screen which is telling schedule your exam. That's it. Now, moving to the application process, that parent website is pmi.org. In that site, you have to log in just like we guys create a profile in Facebook or Instagram. We have to create a profile and then go to the window. Go to the tab certifications. And we are here for the PMP, right? So click on PMP Exam. That is the first step. And then PMI will ask you quite a few information, which is pretty much easy, guys. Tell us more about you, like that, how many years of experience you have, which domain you have worked. I'm claiming that these are accurate, something like that. The very basic formalities they will ask you. And then you will be taken to the next page, which is about the education. In the education, like I told, you have to enter which college you passed out, which year you passed out, what was the program, all those things. That's the thing. And below the education, the academic education, you have the section to enter your professional education. There, you have to enter PMP exam preparation, PMP training, something like that. And then who was that provider who gave you this training? That provider's name you have to mention and the start date and end date of this training. And you should mention that you have completed 35 hours of training. This is about the education section. Pretty much simple. The next section is where most of the participants who are attending training from me, they are asking my support. So let me elaborate on that, guys. The next section is about the experience. In the experience, I told you right before, you have to gather all the project management experience in a very draft format in a Word document or something. Now you have to more beautify it. So you have to start filling the details, guys. First thing is enter the project title, which project you have been working, which organization you have been working as part of this project, and what was your job title. Very important, guys. Don't give fake designations like I was a project manager, I was a program manager, like that. You need to be candid. If you are a team lead, please do mention that. If you are a business analyst, please do mention that. Don't put a designation simply for the sake that you were a project manager, because it is unethical, first thing. Second thing, sometimes as part of the audit process, they may reach out to your colleagues. So they should not tell that, no, he was just a business analyst, he was just a team lead, he was not a project manager. Like that, contradiction should not happen. So please be candid when you put the job title. Next is about the reporting area. So function, which function? Was it finance, supply chain, engineering, manufacturing, whatever it is? Drop-down options will be there. You have to click on that. The next one is primary focus of your industry. Is it into consulting? Is it into manufacturing? Is it into e-commerce? Like that, there will be different drop-down options. And the next column is about your approach or methodology. So people who have attended sessions through me or through any trainer of PMP, you would be pretty much familiar about the approaches. Is it predictive? Is it agile? Or is it hybrid? So whatever was the approach you did projects, please do mention that. Now, the next section is the project team size and budget. So you can put it was how many team members you managed and what was the budget which you managed, things like that. If you don't want to disclose also, you can mention it as classified. That is totally fine. The next portion is the project dates, guys. That is very important. That means the start day of the project and the end day of the project, end month of the project. Please make sure that it is very valid and you have taken care of it, like first time or second time you have checked the correct start date and end date. The reason is those dates will be used to add a counter. For example, you are mentioning that you started a project in January and it ended in April. So the system will count it as 4 months of project management experience, Jan, Feb, March, April. So please make sure that you enter the dates after proper validation. Next is about the description session. That's where many applicants are seeking, like, can you please help? Like that, I have been getting a constant request. So let me tell you, regarding filling the application, this is the style which I'm expecting. First, you should be able to clearly define an objective, project objective. Followed by that, you should be able to tell what was the role of you in the project. That means what was your designation. Third one, regarding the responsibilities. That's where you need to write a beautiful story regarding how did you do the project. And then project deliverables and outcome. That means how did the project end? What was the deliverables? What was the meaningful value this project added to the business? Stuff like that. Again, my request is please be honest and ethical whenever you fill this description part of the projects. Don't try to add something which you didn't do. Try to add things which you did, not your team did. Okay, I will elaborate on that. First, guys, if I talk about the objective can be like launch a product in a market, or to come up with a new device, or to launch a new car, or to improve service level performance of a particular subdivision. Anything, every project will have an objective, right? You should be able to crisply elaborate what is the objective of your project. Second one I told, right, regarding your role. If you are a team lead, please do mention that you were a team lead in which you led through so and so stages of the project, so and so departments you handled. Whatever it is, you please mention your correct role in the project. Third one I told, right, after the role, it is about identifying your responsibilities. That means how did you navigate through the entire project journey? That is where you need to write down a beautiful story. So my message is that these guys, okay, whenever you're writing down the story, please follow this pattern. How you initiated the project, how you planned the project, how you executed the project, how you monitored and controlled the project, and how you closed the project. Like that, you should have a story. Okay, I would say story. Why I'm telling story? Because every story, it starts like this, right? Once upon a time, like that. Usually all stories, okay, childhood stories. And it will end like, then they lived happily forever, like that. That's the way most of the stories close, right? So like that, you should also have a story framework like this. But make sure that whenever you write this story, my recommendation is first you write the story in your own words. And then try to add specific project management jargons. I mean, not add, replace your usual jargons with project management jargons. For example, if you are writing a story mostly in the initiation phase, please make sure you have keywords like project charter, and then identifying the stakeholders, define the high-level scope, project assessment, like that and all. You please make sure you have. In case you are in the planning phase, please make sure you are having some actions like developing a project schedule, developing the work breakdown structure, prepared project management plans, things like that. If you are talking about the execution phase, please make sure how did you execute the project? Like this is the way I had a communication with different levels of stakeholder, different meetings were there. This is the way I executed the deliverables in the project. This is the way I managed the resources. There were some changes in the project. This is the way I implemented those changes in the project. Like that, please be candid. Whatever issues you faced in the project, write that in a very beautiful way. How did you successfully run the project? That also you write in a beautiful way in the execution phase. And then the next phase is monitoring and controlling. In the monitoring and controlling, you are checking how did you guys execute. For example, what metrics you people used while you check the effectiveness of the project timeline or budget. How was the quality standards met? In case any change in scope in the middle of the project, how did you manage those changes in the scope? How did you measure the effectiveness of sticking to the schedule and budget? All those things you include in your story about monitoring and controlling. Finally, regarding closing, how did you officially close the projects? Maybe you have to get a sign off from the client or sponsor, or you have to do a proper lessons learned and then upload that in the repository. And maybe there is a special meeting where you get final acceptance from key stakeholders or CEO of the company, whatever be it. Please try to mention how did you officially close the project. This is about the story part in which you have to elaborate. Again, my request is please be candid while you write and please try to introduce these jargons what I said. So let's say you have successfully completed one project story like this. And then what happens? No, we can see on the right side, the experience summary, the counter will increase. For example, if it's a 6 months project, it will show that 6 of 36 months. Like that, it will show. That means you still need to mention more projects to make sure that your 36 months criteria is being met. So you may need to add another project in the same way what I said. So like that, when you keep on adding projects, there will be a particular point after which it will show a green tick mark and say 36 months criteria fulfilled. That's it. And then you can submit the application. Once you submit the application, I told there are two possibilities. Either it will be quickly approved so that you can go ahead and schedule the exam, or it may be chosen for audit. If it is quickly approved, then you will see a screen which is telling you can go ahead and pay for the exam. But in case it is chosen for the audit, please don't panic. Follow the formalities. Whatever they are asking, the additional documents, please furnish those. Once they have validated your audit documents, then you will get an intimation via mail or you can check in the dashboard. They will tell that, yes, your audit formalities are completed. Now you can make payment for the exam like that. That's it about the application. Now, regarding the exam fees, if you are not a member of PMI, at this moment when I'm talking to you guys, the fees for PMP exam is $575. But if you become a member, the membership fees is $149, but there is a benefit. Then the fees for the PMP exam will be slashed. It is just $405. So it's always cost beneficial to become a member and go ahead and schedule the exam. There are a lot of other benefits of becoming a member, which I have already told you in the beginning. But still, for the sake of examination cost reduction, it's always a wise choice to become a member and then give the exam fees. Pay the exam fees. Now, let me move to some of the frequently asked questions which I get from some of the participants. So I thought I will clarify all those in this video. So the first question which I usually get is, Abhishek, I have more than 36 months of experience. Is it fine? Can I put that as part of the application process? My answer is totally fine. You can go ahead. If you have done a 5-year project, you can go ahead and put it. But the system considers only when you cross that threshold. 36 months is enough. If it is a single project in which you have done this initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling and closure, and it has stretched to 5 years, then I would recommend go ahead and put it. But otherwise, you don't need to. You don't get any extra benefit of putting your 10 years of project management experience. Please be very smart. You need to be doing whatever is required. Just 36 months is enough. You cross that threshold. That's it. Now, another question which I get is, all my projects are small, Vishak. What should I do? I would say, guys, it doesn't matter. If you have, let's say, a project which is 6 months, go ahead and put it in the application. If you have another project of 8 months, go ahead and put it in the application. The only thing is your counter will be keep on upgrading. 6 plus 8 plus like that, it will be keep on upgrading. So in simple theorem, what I can tell is you can put 12 projects of 3 months because 12 times 3 is 36. Okay, but one important thing is, this also I get as a frequently asked question from many participants. Can I put 2 projects which I have worked simultaneously? That is not possible. That is not possible means you can put, but the system will not count twice. What I'm trying to tell you is, for example, you have been working in a project let's say from January to April. In the meantime, you have been into another project which started from February to June. So in your mind, you will be thinking, oh, I worked in 2 projects, so I can add the time of these 2 projects. But the system, the PMI system doesn't work like that. In case you have worked on 2 projects which are overlapping, the system will count only the total duration. For example, if you have worked in project 1 from Jan to April and project 2 from Feb to June, it will not count that common period twice. Instead, it will count all the way from January to April for project 1. And for project 2, it will count only the remaining months after April. For example, if it was started in February till June, it will count only May and June, the remaining 2 months. So altogether, even if you worked in 2 projects, total time which PMI application calculates is 6 months. In simple words, what I can tell is you cannot tell that I worked in 36 projects in 1 month, because 36 times 1 is 36. You can't do like that. You need to demonstrate 36 months of project management experience, which is non-overlapping. That is an important point. Okay, please make a note of it. Now, the next question which I get is, do I need to pay before the application process? Let me tell you, you don't need to make any payment before the application process. Let your application get approved. Then it will show you a page, pay for the exam. Then only you need to pay for the exam. Very clear. You don't need to waste any of your money before the application process. Please be aware of that. Next thing, I get questions. Vishak, there is an option to take the exam from home and also from the center. What do you recommend? Can I take it from home like that? I personally don't recommend taking the exam from home, because in case, not only PMP guys, any exam, in case any internet disconnection is there, or maybe a power failure, or maybe some of the people in your house or in your office are coming to you and about to start a conversation, you cannot even stop them. Hey, I'm taking an exam. Because the moment you show some clue that I'm in an exam, it will be considered as you are trying to make an attempt to copy something. So your exam will be considered as disqualified, and you have to pay again for the exam. So please be careful. If given a chance, try to give it in a proper examination center authorized by PMI. Next one, again, I'm repeating. Hey, Vishak, my application is selected for audit. Is there any problem with my profile? Like that, I keep getting questions, guys. Let me tell you, audit process is totally random. It got nothing to do with your number of years of experience or in which domain you have worked or regarding your style of application. It's totally random. My sincere request is go through that audit process and then make sure that your audit process is complete, and then you go ahead and schedule the exam. That's it. So hope this video helped all of you guys regarding the application process. Thank you so much.